Living in Lake Chelan. Is it paradise or is it pretty painful? Lake Chelan looks like a dream, right? Gorgeous lake views, wine country vibes, and the small town charm that makes HGTV producers drool. But what if I told you that behind the sunsets and the scenery are some real downsides to this location, and it's not always talked about? In this video, I'm going to give you the unfiltered, uninstagrammable truth about what it's really like to live in Chelan. Without a doubt, Lake Chelan is the go-to lake vacation spot in Washington. But could you actually live in this remote little town full time? Today, we're diving into the pros and cons of living in Chelan, and stick around because if Chelan's not for you, I'm going to give you two other alternative waterfront areas that you might want to think about. Hey, I'm Amanda Dallman, your local Central Washington realtor, and in this channel, I give you the real deal, the no fluff breakdown of what it's like to live in Central Washington. If you're thinking about moving here, go ahead and subscribe because you're in the right place. So Chelan boasts some of the most beautiful views of emerald blue water framed by the Cascade Mountains. It's a dream come true for outdoor lovers, whether you're into boating, paddleboarding, hiking, or even skiing at the locally owned Echo Valley ski area. That's all right here. The population hovers right around 6,000 people, and that means that, yes, everyone knows everyone. It's got a very small town feel. There are generations of families that live here amongst some of the people who have escaped Seattle to move to Chelan. There's a real strong sense of community and neighbors looking out for each other, and also because of that, gossip can run a little quickly. Chelan has a very laid-back vibe and wine culture with over 40 wineries. Seriously, that's like one winery for every 150 people. Chelan is chill with the capital C. The downtown area is full of charming historic buildings that have restaurants and boutiques and cafes. There's farmers markets, festivals, community fundraisers. There's always something going on in the Chelan area. The outdoor access is like no other. If you want true backcountry solitude, just hop on the ferry and take a 55-mile boat ride up to the North Cascades National Park. This little area is called Stehekin. Stehekin is one of the most remote national parks in the country. There are no roads that get there, and there are very few crowds, just pure wilderness. And then we also need to talk about Chelan's newest development, the world's largest stationary wave. So yes, you can surf in Chelan as well. Washington is weird and wonderful like that. Okay, next let's talk about Chelan's thriving economy, or sort of. Chelan is booming, and I mean literally new construction of vacation homes and hillside modern builds with beautiful views of the lake are kind of popping up everywhere, and there is a feeding frenzy for them. Anything that is priced between $800K and $1.5 million is gobbled up pretty quickly. Inventory moves relatively quickly on anything that is pretty much under $1 million or has any sort of lake view or access. This is great news for sellers and investors, but it's also driving up the prices fast. And a lot of jobs locally don't really pay enough to own a mortgage at this rate. I'm seeing more people buy these homes as second homes or relocating permanently with remote jobs from the Seattle or California area. Local business owners, they're struggling to find homes for their staff. So yeah, the area is booming, but it's also complicated. So let's talk about some numbers. Right now, the average home price in Chelan hovers right around $900,000. Waterfront properties are going to be multi-million dollars. Even a basic 2-bedroom home with a peekaboo lake view often start around $600,000 to $700,000. Condos, they are a little bit cheaper, but you need to consider monthly dues, so they're still not that cheap. Oh, and if you are dreaming of an Airbnb, a cash cow, you've got to know the short-term rental rules. They're getting stickier, especially in residential zoning. I help clients navigate this, so if that's you, hit me up. You don't want to be the one who buys to only find out that you can't legally rent out your home. Okay, here's something that a lot of people don't realize when they buy in Chelan or Central Washington, but your lot size matters. Water rights, septic, sewer, winter road access, these are all really hyper-local issues that you don't find in suburban markets. If you're moving here from out of town, you're going to want somebody who understands the terrain, literally. I always tell clients, don't just buy the view, know the zone, know the slope, know the snowplow schedule, because really without knowing these things, your dream lake cabin might turn into a nightmare come January. I specialize in helping people relocate, retire, and invest and plant roots in lake towns just like this. I've got the inside scoop on what's happening in this wild market. Chelan School District is really liked by the local community here, mostly because of the small class sizes and the strong community support the system has. Families really love to have their kids attending these schools. Crime rate in Chelan is reported to be 13% below the national average, which is a pretty safe place to live. Walking downtown at night, leave your doors unlocked. Yep, that still happens here in Chelan. Okay, let's talk about some of the not so great things about Chelan. Outside of the tourism service work, it is slim pickings. Remote working or working in Wenatchee are very common strategies, but career growth locally, not so much. Chelan has its fair share of drunken crowds. Let's be honest, Chelan becomes party central in the summertime. Wedding, bachelor parties, day drinking on boats, it's not always that charming. Your favorite restaurants will become packed during the summer months, and the locals know when to steer clear of downtown during certain times of the year. There is some serious summer traffic and congestion in the summertime. There's pretty much one road that goes around Lake Chelan, and what happens is you get stuck behind a tourist that is rubbernecking, doing 10 under, and you really need to pack your patience because no one's going anywhere very quickly on the road systems in Chelan. Another thing that I should say is phone service, cell phone service during the summer months is absolutely terrible. So many people come into the area that the phone infrastructure just pretty much doesn't work. And so you need to be prepared to not have phone service when you're in Chelan in the really busy times of the year. Okay, here's another downside to Chelan. It's remote, like pretty remote. Chelan has 2 grocery stores, an Ace Hardware, a small hospital, a Walmart, and a few boutiques downtown. Beyond that, you are driving 45 minutes to, say, the nearest Costco in Wenatchee. Or if you need to catch a plane or a specialty doctor, pack your snacks because you are going on a 3-hour drive to either get to Spokane or Seattle. Okay, the next con of Chelan, and some might find this a pro, but it is the weather. In the summer times, heat hits triple digits, and unless you're on the lake, that is not very pleasant. In the wintertime, there are probably 2 to 3 months where it's gray and snowy and freezing cold and dry. Your skin cracks and your nose drips, and it's not very pleasant. And between months, there's sagebrush and wheat dust that is in the air. And so allergies can be another big problem for people when they move to Central Washington or Chelan particularly. Now, if you love the idea of lake life, but Chelan sounds a little too intense or busy or crowded, Consider Manson. It's just up the lake a little bit. There are fewer crowds and still that very charming downtown, beautiful area. You can also take a look on the Columbia River in Iniat or Orondo, which still gives you that waterfront, beautiful, serene atmosphere. It just has a lot less crowds and a lot more serenity. So, is Lake Chelan your forever home or just your favorite vacation fling? Let me know in the comments. And if you're serious about moving here or just need some help finding your dream spot, click on the link in the description and I'll reach out directly. I'm Amanda Dallman, your Central Washington realtor, and I'm here to help you find your home in Central Washington, even if that means somewhere with a little less wine and more Wi-Fi. See you next week.